Okay, so here we go, left shoulder on December 22nd. So first exam, yes, anterior instability, your shoulder doesn't get stuck out, but clearly shifts out toward the front. Now you're resting on your right side of the surgery bed. So here's your left shoulder on its side with the humeral head up above here. Humeral head and the glenoid, the socket down below. So humerus, socket, the scope's in the back aiming toward the front. Coming in for the front is this 5.5 millimeter orange tube, a cannula that serves as access to the outside. And so what we'll do is take a tour of the whole shoulder. As I was looking around earlier, I already saw, here's that dent on the back of the head, that Hill-Sachs defect we're talking about, to show evidence that the shoulder has popped out. There's cartilage, normal bare patch here, and then this dent here. But it's still pretty shallow, not terrible. And so the question will be, is there going to be a tear on the front of the labrum that needs to be fixed? We'll start the tour up here with the biceps. So along here the biceps going from the top of the socket, out through the shoulder and down to the arm there. So biceps looks good. I'll come to the front of your shoulder. Up in front is your front rotator cuff tendon subscapularis. I'll come and look over the top of that. There's a space here called the subcoracoid recess. So I've come way to the front of your joint and looking now down towards the midline. Left-hand side of this is the subscapularis. Right-hand side, the synovial lining tissue. The shiny cells are the ones that make the synovial fluid, but that all looks fine. So then back to the joint here. And this, our question is this anterior-inferior glenoid and labrum. So here's the biceps here. This is anterior labrum, anterior-inferior labrum here. And the question is that pulled away, or is that just the way your capsule is shaped? Let me look from below up in here. So it may be more that the capsule tissue is stripped off than actually all torn away here. Let me get a sense if I pull on this. Well, maybe that did pull away, and then it sort of halfway heals back. So when we get to the outside, I'll look at this, but if it looks like this is sort of just partially healed back and was pulled, then I'll end up doing that procedure like the pamphlet I gave you. Up above here, this is the sublabral foramen, so this is normally not attached here, but it's the tissue down below. What we want to do is get the front of the capsule attached back to the front of the socket, anterior inferior down here, and that. At this point, going into the open part, we'll say that could still go either way. It could still be the one where we just do the capsule tightening. I'd prefer it to be the actual fix, but we'll see what it looks like. This is now the armpit side of the joint, the axillary recess. And come along the lower back here, and then up to where this dent is in the back of the head right there. That's a Hill-Sachs defect. And not a very big one. But by definition, that definitely is in that we see cartilage, normal bare patch, cartilage, bare patch, and then the rest of your joint. And of course, the rest of your joint looks good. This is not an arthritic shoulder. And the biceps looks fine, the rotator cuff looks fine. This is above the socket up here, supraglenoid fossa up in here, and then the back of the glenoid and lower back down there. So actually that's a pretty good looking shoulder joint. A little fraying here, we'll just do a little trim of that. There's not much to have to do, and then we will end the video and roll you back and do the actual rotator cuff repair. So this is the shaver. Has a little blade that oscillates back and forth here. I'm just going to trim just a little bit of this frayed tissue on the front of the glenoid, right up in here. And again, this gets softened where the head has come out. Yeah, I'll bet you this is going to be one of those that detach and then kind of partially reattach. So I think we'll end up detaching it again to do the repair of it. Right down in here. And then it's just, and that's the thing, when people do these arthroscopically, if they reattach it back but just a little bit offset from where it's actually supposed to go, then the shoulder is just as unstable again. So the key is really bringing this tissue up along the front of the glenoid to reattach it back on. Okay, but otherwise that's a happy looking shoulder, except it goes out. Okay, so end the video here, pause and off, and we'll roll you back and do the repair.